Okay, we just shot this. Oh, hey gun people! I forgot to hey gun people. We're all excited. We're shooting around in here. So we put a stack of books in the back of the office here and fired a gun. And the first target, it shows when it went in, the 2 rounds.
Yeah, let's see. There's
Right
12
there.
o'clock position.
So this is how it was sitting. So it's shooting a little low, a little to the left with a bore sight. We adjusted the bore sight. But look at the hole this little bullet made. Now this, we're talking about, we didn't play in this video real good because I wanted to pull out one. Oh, here's one right over here. So this is the round. And when it went in, this is just one of the books that it went through. Look how it gets bigger. So that's like what? Look at that sucker.
Look at the exit.
That's the exit. And that's like what? 3rd book in?
Yeah, that's about an inch and a quarter in. There's the,
That's what a 4,000 round, 42,000.
there's the entrance and the exits. Like 5
Now I
bucks
know
in it,
people
and
are going to say, well, that's not ballistic gel. That's not. Man, that round freaking exploded. I
Yeah.
mean, it just. That is a devastating. The biggest piece we found out of 2 bullets was that.
So there are a couple.
So out of 2 of these, that's all we could find. Everything else was pulverized into this
You can
dust.
see this dust here. This is bullet dust and
Paper
dust
shreds.
and because the bullet literally explodes. It's turning at almost 300,000 RPM.
Well, 4,000, 1 in 12, 1 times 60, or 60 times 4.
60 times 4,000 times 60 is 240,000. It's 240,000 RPM, so it's really turning around. When it hits the polymer tip, goes into the bullet, opens it up, and causes it to So
Look
I've
at
had
that
guys,
little bitty hole.
you can stick your finger through there, and it's paper is hard. People don't think that paper is hard. Guess what? Try to take a.
Oh, he shot 308s in here, and it doesn't go through these books either.
I shoot 308 military ball in here, and it doesn't go through a stack, this side. So I recover 220 grain bullets, 150 grain bullets in here, 9mm 45. Believe it or not, this much paper, if it's properly,
Yeah, because you
contained,
tape it tight to where it's
tape it
packed.
tight,
Yeah.
it'll stop a lot. So I've got like 4 feet of this stuff back there. So it's
So you see, I mean, it's just amazing that little bitty hole that it went in to end up 4 books later. Freaking man! I mean, I was shocked. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
hello, hello, is anyone home?
Look at the size of that hole. I know somebody's gonna go, "Oh, that's paper and it's not human." I mean, our velocity. What's the thing? Momentum and velocity is velocity.
Kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 mass times velocity squared. So you take the square of the velocity. Now, kinetic momentum is just mass times velocity. So momentum is like throwing a baseball at 100 miles an hour and hit you in the head. Oh, wow, that hurts. You take a 55 grain bullet, throw it at 100 miles an hour, and you go, okay, that's not even pellet gun velocity. So it might leave a little mark. But you take a baseball, 4,000 feet per second, and it's going to take your head off, and everybody for the first 4 rows behind the home plate is going to be misty pink.
Yeah,
So,
and a lot of people get confused about. They say a 5.56 is 3,200 feet per second. That's out of a 21 inch or 20.
20-inch barrel.
Yeah. So every time you drop, you're losing velocity.
If you cut down, you lose between 50 and 75 feet per second per inch. When you cut your barrel off from 20 to 16, that's 4 inches. That's a minimum of 200 feet per second that you lost. So you're talking about 30, 50, maybe, most likely it's around 29.80 for a 55 grain bullet out of a 16.
But we shoot. Most people shoot 62 grain.
And you cut down to a 14 inch like the military did for their M4s. Guess what? Now you're 2,700 feet per second at the muzzle. 300 yards away, it's not a great Haji killer, boys and girls, anymore because you're not shooting at a 5.56 velocity of the old M16s. Those were all 20-inch barrels, 3,200 feet per second, 3,250 actually. At the muzzle is a great killer inside a room or across a short rice paddy. 300 yards, 400 yards away, not so much. You cut to a 14-inch barrel, and it is not a really, it is a lethal round, but not a dead right there round. There have been a lot of guys that were shot 2 and 3 times in the chest at 400 yards by a Marine with a 14-inch barrel with a 62 grain SS-109 bullet, the green tip, and it took them out of the fight, but it didn't kill them because it just poked a hole in them. It was 22 Magnum velocities.
Now, I've heard people talk like they didn't want the 5.56 to kill you. They want you to wound you because then it takes more people to.
If the guy is shooting an RPG at you, you want him graveyard dead right there. You want whoever picks up that RPG, you want him graveyard dead right there because the third or fourth Haji that picks it up and actually gets it launched when you're trying to change mags can take out your position and kill you and 3 and 4 of the guys. So that's bullshit. That is bullshit. When I go to war, I'm going to go to war to engage the enemy and leave him graveyard dead, leave much gnashing, wailing and gnashing of teeth, as the Bible says. I don't want anybody to pick up a weapon 10 minutes later, 10 months later, and try to shoot me in the back. So
Now, they call this a varmint round, but that round looks like it'd be pretty devastating for a human varmint.
it's absolutely devastating on that. I think it's a lethal round. You get a shot in the torso, you're not going home. You're not going to make it to the ER. Shot in the groin, shot in the pelvis, shot in the femoral artery. Get that.
Yeah, because the secondary cavity is going to be huge. Not
It's going to be about the size of
a fist.
I was thinking more of a grapefruit, or
Really?
something like that.
Wow.
It's going to be rather large, and as a result, the tissue damage is horrendous. The blood loss is going to be rather horrendous, and
Shock value also goes up.
the shock value probably would send a shock wave up the femoral artery, right to your brain, and go kill you. That's my 2 cents worth. I haven't done any testing on this. But,
Sure. Yeah, but you reload. You've shot big caliber, 50 caliber. You've taken out big game.
and I've shot things like that little moose over
That little moose.
65-inch moose or something. I shot him twice. 340 Weatherby, 309 paces, standing. He took off running. I let him 12 feet, fired another round. He kept going. Put another round in the chamber, and he disappeared in the brush. I went up there and found 2 bullet holes 2 inches apart. About like that. One was touching the back shoulder, and one was just behind the back shoulder, and went through the heart lung area and exited the animal in front of the right front shoulder. So, anyway.
Now, you said somebody shot a coyote with a 204, and they said like blew out the whole shoulder, or
Yeah, it'll blow off the far side oftentimes. I've had a friend shot a 150-pound pig with a 204, and he said he blew out about 5 feet of lung in a stream on the other side. And I went, okay, I didn't think it would do that, but I think it would be a pretty good little hog gun. It is not, not my favorite deer rifle, but a heart shot in a deer, lung shot in a deer, yep. I think they're going to go down because of the devastating effect. This little 55 grain or 32 grain bullet
right.
inside the chest cavity, you saw all those little minor fragments of bits of paper and bits of lead. That's going to be inside the lung tissue. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the newsprint is hard. Here's my shot knife. Bam! Oh, yeah. I'm going to hit hard. That's a sharp knife. And what do we do?
Yeah.
1/4 of an inch. Now, is human flesh like that? No. Human flesh is really soft, thick of jello.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with the size of that hole. I got to admit, I was a little shocked. I was like, I was thinking, because I don't think a 5.56. I've shot 5.56 and things like this.
We can load up and do it at 5.56 full metal jacket, and you can find the hole. I'll find the bullet. And I don't think the wound channel is going to be as big in the paper.
Yeah.
It might go a little deeper. It might penetrate this and go into the second.
Because a little bit of weight.
No, because with the full metal jacket, it stays together
Oh.
and penetrates. But this works just like Kevlar in a vest does. The small bits of fiber in a vest, the energy is transferred into the next bit of fiber and the next layer,
Right.
the next layer, and it's the combination of all the different layers that make a bulletproof vest work
Correct.
properly. If you have a bullet that is really, really sharp and really, really hard and doesn't open up, all it does is spread the the fibers in the different layers, you might get it to penetrate farther. And a higher velocity tends to cause the fibers to break.
Right.
That's why
I'm surprised I didn't see any smoke or burning on that paper because that round coming out of there that fast.
it's hot. But,
Yeah.
But again, the mass of this weighs 12 pounds or so. I've been doing this for a long time. I've shot thousands and thousands of rounds here in the store, mostly with suppressors, just to demonstrate how they work. The effect on a subsonic bullet is very interesting because it will actually turn some of them into J-hooks. These 220 grain 308s will come out looking like that when
Right.
they hit a hard stack of paper.
Right.
Because of the torque, and the bullet it's a little off axis, and it gets hung up in the paper and it starts bending. After you put 8 or 10 rounds in this thing, the bullets tend to penetrate straighter and they don't bend as much because there's less resistance.
Yeah, you're shooting through confetti instead of solid paper.
Shoot through confetti, the bullet will still slow down within 8 to 12 inches and stop. And some of the bullets look like you could reload them again. But that's not what happens when you shoot into a tightly wrapped, newly formed little target. Because I get a lot of magazines and a lot of catalogs, and I just turn all these things into little stacks of targets rather than throw them in the dumpster. I use them first and then put them in the dumpster.
Right.
So,
All right. Well, that was that's the final build. In case anybody wants to see it, Buckster did a great job. So come give him some business or call him and order your guns from him. He hooked me up. He's taking his time to do these videos and he did a great job. So, Buck, thanks. In that round, I'm freaking, dude. I was like, holy shit.
I think you're going to enjoy it because the 204 it's a kind of an unsung hero. I didn't think a whole lot of it when I first heard about it, and I said, well, I don't know, maybe yes. Until I went out and shot it opposite the 22-250, 6mm Ackley improved and other rounds, and found out that the wind drift is tremendously less. The wind drift is only about 2/3 of what you get out of a 22-250 or 243.
And a lot of that is because flight time is so short.
Time of flight. It's exactly time of flight because you think it's counterintuitive. You think a heavier bullet, like a 70 grain bullet in a 243 at 3,600 feet per second, it's going to be have less wind drift than a little 32 grain bullet. That's not true. The reason is time of flight is so much shorter that it gets there before it starts to drift. It's just mathematics. And then the higher the rate of speed. Now you get a really, really big bullet like a 20mm, 4,000 feet per second. Guess what? It's going to have less wind drift than this little
Sure.
204 because it has a higher ballistic sectional density, ballistic coefficient.
But at 4,000 feet, its flight time is less too.
It's smoking too.
Right.
But then you had the speed of the aircraft behind it. So, but anyway, I think that's kind of nice where I can look through there and I can see you.
That
is a seriously large exit hole, and they just get bigger.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm shocked. I mean, people. I know somebody's going to say that Brown didn't make that hole. I'm telling you, we just pulled that shit out of there.
Here's an interesting article you might want to copy. Now, I know all of you guys have seen the video of the moron who held up I think it was like a phone book. It was a fairly heavy book.
Had his girlfriend shoot him?
Had his girlfriend shoot him with a 50 A&E.
Yeah, what's up with that?
He came up graveyard dead. A, he had one book. B, he didn't have any, he's sitting there holding it up here like this. These were tightly compressed and they were
And
against,
taped, right.
They were taped and they were up against another, there were stacks and stacks. They were like
Right.
3 to 4 feet of these things stacked up so that there's no give.
Right.
That poor boy, not only that, a 50 A&E has got a lot of knockdown power. It has a big honking bullet, and it went through. The thing that he held up was probably only equivalent to,
Yeah, I can't remember what it
maybe
was.
an inch and a half.
Yeah.
This is more like 3, and it went all the way to the bottom of these 3.
Yeah.
With a round that has maybe 1,400 foot-pounds. That 50 A&E probably has closer to 2,000 foot-pounds. Don't do this at home standing behind it. That's stupid. And so, okay.
That is a great, oh man, I'm just psyched at the size of that bullet. All right, we'll end that there. Thanks again, Buckster.
You bet.